How's it going? It's Jack, and I'm back with another lesson. This first week of the year, I'm going to try and go over a lot of like fundamental stuff or equipment, whatever you want to say, before we get into like riffs and that kind of stuff. And today I want to talk about the Stylus Pick. Now, I do not know the guys in this company. I don't get paid for any of this stuff. This is something that came out. You may or may not be familiar with it. It's something that came out in the 80s. I actually got some way back then because I'm an old man and that's when I was playing. But I didn't really understand the thing, and I didn't practice as much as I should have. Definitely that had to do with it also. But I just recently rediscovered it maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because it can really help to correct bad picking habits, namely how you hold the pick and how deep you put the pick in. Because if you're familiar at all, if you've seen other videos and stuff, then you'll know that the deeper that you hold the pick into the strings, the more it's going to slow you down. So if I can, let's do a close-up here. So let's say my grip is going to hold the pick like this, okay? And that much of the pick is exposed. But if you only have just a little tiny bit of the pick, then that's going to enable you to play a lot faster. It's simple physics. The less, if this is the string, you know, the less that the pick hits the string, the faster you're going to go. So that's what the Stylus Pick does, okay? It has this little cone on here. Okay, let me see if I can get a little close-up here. Okay, let me switch the camera and I'll get you a better close-up. Okay, so here you can see Stylus Pick, yeah. And you can see on the end here, if I could turn this, that there's a cone, okay? And on the end of the cone, it goes from one side to the other. And basically, that line where the cone is the widest, that's going to allow you to pick. If you put the skinnier part towards the end of the pick, too deep into the strings, it's going to pull the pick in. And I'm going to show you an example of that right now. Okay, so I don't know how well this is going to illustrate it. If you need more information, just let me know and I can shoot a better video specific to your needs. But basically, if I'm playing like a lick from E minor scale, like okay, that might sound good and all that kind of stuff. And you're practicing, I'm focusing on my hand, let's say, and I'm using, if you saw my last video about the way to practice. Okay, and I'm trying really hard to either just use my wrist or that kind of stuff. The problem is I can never know really exactly how deep this pick is going in. I mean, I guess I could pull it away from the strings. Like if I was playing just one note until I barely touch the string. Because you can see that if I barely touch the string, or if I put the pick deeper in, okay, that's the whole idea, is how deep is this pick going into the strings. So with the Stylus Pick, what it does is if I go too deep, that cone is going to pull the pick down into the strings. Okay? And then you're going to get like a popping sound, almost like, you know, funky bass player. So if I do with my regular pick, then I grab the Stylus Pick and I try to do the same thing. Did you hear that pop? That's telling me I'm going too deep. So even though it seemed good with my regular pick, I'm actually not having a good technique. Now, there's things in the book, of course, you know, how you can practice all these crazy scales and be a shredder and all that kind of stuff. But even if that's not your interest, you're going to benefit from using this pick because you're going to get a lighter pick touch. See that pop? Because I'm going too deep with the strings. So basically what I use this for is I'll take a passage, something that I want to play, especially if it's something fast, and I will do it really slow with this pick until I get no more popping. Especially when you change strings, or if you play down here on the high string and then you move to the lower string, your angle of your pick may change, and that could mess up your technique, and this is going to make sure everything is straight. So you would play the exercise with this pick over and over a little bit till you don't get popping. And you're going to notice too, when you repeat, you may go back and not use a good exercise. Let me tell you, you can't play chords with this thing because it just doesn't work. It's going to grab it. But for single notes, you're going to see the best thing that you can do is you're going to hold the pick right here at the very tip, right? If I hold it back here, it's going to be harder to control. And you can see it corrects my hand if I turn. I don't know, you can see it or not, but I'm using minimal movements. And I'm only using the very top. You can't really see it that way. It's not going to hurt your technique. Then when I go back to this pick, you're going to notice you immediately grab this pick. Whoops, sorry. Nice and close to the edge. Okay, so again, Stylus Pick for high-speed alternate picking. But like I said, even if you're playing, slower things, old classic rock or whatever, you're still gonna benefit because it's gonna loosen up the pick attack, and therefore, your hands are not going to be as stressed. You're going to be able to play things more comfortably and that kind of stuff. You can see in the book, there's all kind of exercises that it comes with. Maybe you can see them or not or whatever, but it's going to explain to you the whole thing about it. And it tells you about exactly how it works, basically what I just said. But again, this isn't any kind of wonder, potion that's going to make you a shredder overnight or make you a monster, that kind of stuff. What it does is it controls how deep you put your pick into the strings when you're playing. And that is going to immediately clean up and allow you to play a little bit faster. It's almost like tuning an engine, okay? You're still going to have the gas and all that kind of stuff and practice, and your overall speed is still going to be up to you as how much you practice. But what it is it makes it more efficient. So check that out if you have any questions. I'm not even sure where to get these. I think I found them online. If you Google Stylus Pick, this doesn't have a website on it, but I'm sure there's styluspick.com. Check it out, because especially if you're an older player like I am, you didn't think about these things when you first started playing, and you're like, man, I just can't play that Randy Rhoads lick or that Tony Iommi or that Jimmy Page or whatever. Or if you're trying to play Yngwie, that kind of stuff. This will help you tremendously. It's not any kind of magic dust, but it really helps to clean up your pick depth. So check it out. And if you have questions, please let me know. All right, later.